What if everything we've been told about the Ten Commandments is only half the story? We see them depicted on courtroom walls and in epic Hollywood films, ancient, stone-carved rules from a distant, wrathful God. But what if they are something far more profound? What if they are not a list of restrictions, but an invitation? Not a burden, but a key? Today, we are not just reading the Ten Commandments. We are cracking a code. We are exploring what I call God's moral blueprint, a revolutionary design for human flourishing, engineered for a world lost in chaos. The scene is the foot of Mount Sinai. A ragged, terrified group of former slaves, the Israelites, have just escaped the superpower of Egypt. They have witnessed wonders and plagues, walked through a parted sea, and now they are free. But freedom is terrifying. In Egypt, their lives were miserable, but they were structured. Their masters dictated their every move, their every waking hour. Now, in the vast, empty desert, they face a new existential threat. Not slavery, but anarchy. The question hanging over them is simple and devastating. We are free, but what now? How do we live? How do we keep from tearing each other apart? Into this vacuum of meaning steps God, and He doesn't just give them a law. He gives them an identity. He begins by saying, "I am the Lord your God." Before the demand, there is a deliverance. The commandments are not a random set of rules from a distant deity. They are the blueprint for building a society unlike any the world had ever seen, one based not on a pharaoh's whim. So let's open the blueprint. Commandment 1. You shall have no other gods before me. In a world teeming with gods of stone, of weather, of war, and of the Nile, this was radical. It's a call to singular loyalty. Whatever you prioritize, whatever you sacrifice for, whatever you fear and worship, that is your functional God. Your career, your money, your political ideology, your own ego. This command is an invitation to freedom from all those petty, demanding idols that will inevitably fail you. It is the first line of the blueprint. Orient your life toward the one true source of reality and love. Commandment 2. You shall not make for yourself an image. Why? Because God cannot be contained. The moment you try to capture God in stone or gold, you diminish Him. You reduce the infinite to the manageable. You create a God you can control, a God made in your own image. This command protects God's mystery and transcendence. It forces us to grapple with faith, not sight, with spirit, not substance. It's a safeguard against creating a comfortable, convenient God who always agrees with us. Commandment 3. You shall not misuse the name of the Lord your God. We often reduce this to not swearing, but it's so much deeper. To misuse God's name is to misrepresent His character, to claim His authority for your own agenda, to bless what He curses, to curse what He blesses. It's about truth in advertising. If we are His people, our words and actions must accurately reflect who He is. This is the integrity clause of the blueprint. So the first tablet establishes the vertical relationship, God and humanity. Now the blueprint flips to the horizontal. How do these people, rightly oriented to God, now treat each other? This is where it gets practical, and where the revolutionary nature of this code becomes stunningly clear. Commandment 4. Remember the Sabbath day by keeping it holy, a day of rest. For us, it sounds nice. For a world built on slave labor, it was insane. In Egypt, rest was a luxury for the elite. For the slave there was no Sabbath. By commanding rest for everyone, including servants, foreigners, and even animals, God built dignity and equality into the very rhythm of time. He is essentially saying, you are not defined by your productivity. Your value is not in what you make, but in whose you are. The Sabbath is a weekly declaration of freedom from the tyranny of work. It is a divine cease and desist order against our own insecurities. Now, the blueprint moves to protecting the fundamental building blocks of a healthy society. Commandment 5. Honor your father and your mother. This is the cornerstone of all social order. It's about respect for authority, for tradition, for the passing down of wisdom. A society where the family unit is strong and children honor their parents is a stable society. It's the first and most fundamental school of virtue. This command preserves the pipeline of culture and morality from one generation to the next. And then we hit the core protections for human life and dignity. Commandment 6. You shall not murder. The Hebrew word here, ratsak, specifically means unlawful, premeditated killing. It is not a prohibition against all killing, like self-defense or war. It is the singular sacred protection of innocent human life. It establishes the infinite value of every individual, made in the image of God. Commandment 7. You shall not commit adultery. This is the safeguard of the most intimate human relationship, marriage. Adultery is the ultimate betrayal of trust, a lie acted out in the flesh. It shatters families, creates generational brokenness, and erodes the very fabric of social trust. This command protects the sacred covenant that is the nursery of new life and the primary school of love. Commandment 8. You shall not steal. This protects the right to private property and the fruits of one's labor. It makes societal commerce and cooperation possible. If you cannot be sure your belongings are safe, you cannot thrive. This command affirms human dignity through ownership and responsibility. Commandment 9. You shall not give false testimony against your neighbor. This is the foundation of justice. A society cannot function if its courts are built on lies. This command protects reputations, ensures fair trials, and demands truth-telling as the bedrock of community. Without it, the entire system of law collapses into a tool for oppression. And finally, Commandment 10. You shall not covet. And here is the ultimate twist. The plot twist in the moral blueprint. Every other command deals with an action. This one deals with an attitude of the heart. You can outwardly obey all the others, not killing, not stealing, not committing adultery, while your heart is a cauldron of jealousy, lust, and resentment. Coveting is the internal desire to possess what is not rightfully yours, your neighbor's house, spouse, employees, or possessions. This command is the genius of the blueprint. It moves the law from the courtroom into the quiet of your own mind. It says that true righteousness isn't just about what you do. It's about who you are on the inside. It makes everyone a lawbreaker, because who among us has never coveted? This final command shows us that we can't perfectly fulfill this beautiful blueprint on our own. It points beyond itself. It shows us our need for a heart transplant, not just a rule book. And this is where the story finds its fulfillment. Centuries later, a teacher from Nazareth would sit on another hill and deliver a sermon. And he would say, You have heard that it was said to the people long ago, You shall not murder. But I tell you that anyone who is angry with a brother or sister will be subject to judgment. And you have heard that it was said, 'You shall not commit adultery.' But I tell you that anyone who looks at a woman lustfully has already committed adultery with her in his heart." Jesus was taking the 10th commandment and applying it to all the others. He wasn't abolishing it. He was showing its full, terrifying, and perfect standard. And then, in the ultimate plot twist, he offered himself as the one who would fulfill it on our behalf. The law shows us the perfect standard we cannot reach. Grace offers us the perfect sacrifice who reached it for us. The 10 Commandments were never meant to be a ladder we climb to earn God's love. They are a mirror that shows us our smudges and our scars and our profound need for a Savior. They are the diagnostic tool. Christ is the cure. So the next time you see those 2 tablets of stone, don't see them as a relic of an angry past. See them for what they are, a gift of grace, a moral blueprint for human happiness, a design for a society of justice, compassion, and freedom, and a profound pointer to the one who would write that law not on stone, but on the transformed hearts of all who would believe. They are not God's list of demands. They are God's description of what a humanity rightly related to Him looks like. And that changes everything. Thanks for watching. If this exploration of God's moral blueprint resonated with you, share your thoughts in the comments below. And don't forget to subscribe for more journeys into the ideas that shaped our world.